send one to all heart call signs. Got a detail.
What is it? Bookmakers, floors collapse, visitors bid.
My team, led by Manny, are racing to a village near Barnsley.
999 road, activate.
Their patient is a regular at the Vickers who's fallen victim to a bizarre accident.
We've got a bookmaker. There's a floor. We're in the bookmakers.
Manny has tasked the patient. Rogers is in the convoy.
table out of the way and get you a bit more comfy, huh?
Right.
So have you got any pain if I press inside here?
No.
Is that all right? Give me a nice big breath. Lovely. Okay.
Let's keep checking, I can't stop it.
Yeah, it's not going to help the position you're in, is it?
Remarkably, 84-year-old William is conscious and talking. He plunged 10 feet into the concrete cellar when the floor collapsed.
Got in to place a bet. The whole floor just disappeared from underneath him. There were some slot machines on one far side. If you imagine they're normally like that, well, they're a little bit like that. And I'm thinking it was not going to take much for them to go in.
Where's that saw? Is it under here? Yeah, all right. What about on the top?
Right.
Are you able to move yourself into a more comfy position?
Yes, if you if you lift me up, just
Well-
get me off the shoulder.
Why don't you roll a little bit onto your back and I'll help you sitting up a bit. There you go. How does that feel? Just take your breath there. We'll take it steady. Just stand still for a second. How does that feel? Get your breath.
Oh, right. Not so bad at all.
Is that all right?
After over an hour at the bottom of the hole, William is shaken, but he's able to scale the ladder with Rocha's help
All right.
and walk to safety out of the betting shop.
Excellent, well done.
He was quite lucky at where he actually fell. He had minor injuries. It could have been a completely different scenario. We could be dealing with a body rather than a patient. Watch his arms right in. Sit me down on here.
William is understandably unsteady on his feet and will need a thorough check over in the ambulance.
All right, okay. Have a minute, have a second. The stabilised patient, he was all right. He's got a right elbow injury and he's got a query, a bit of backache, but he was able to help himself. Basically what's in there, the floor has given way, it's gone down about 3 metres. There's nothing substantial in the middle of it that's held the floor up, it's just on the outer edges where the walls are. There are some slot machines and stuff around on the edges, which is makes it a little bit precarious, but luckily the gentleman was okay. It could have gone another way. If the floor had gone a little bit more further over where it was, they would have had more problems getting him out.
William's simple trip to the bookies has ended in a freak accident, which may have long-term consequences.
From a critical care point of view, he hasn't got a significant head, chest, spinal injury. We've managed to make a reasonable medical assessment in the floor of the cellar, and we've just stood him up and gently helped him up a very short ladder and into the back of the ambulance. So I'll go into the back of the ambulance now and do another medical assessment to make sure he's okay, and then almost certainly he can go to hospital with one of our ambulance crew colleagues.
I just walked in to put a bet on and just fell down the hole.
Just take a deep breath. And out. And again.
William will soon be on his way to Barnsley Hospital, where he'll be scanned and x-rayed to determine the extent of his injuries. He's escaped with his life, against the odds.
Hotel 1, drop and roll at call time.
Delta team are being dispatched to a serious crash. A teenager is trapped.
Police pursuit.
Where?
York.
Someone picked the car.
999 road activated.
Team leader Paul and Leah are leading the convoy. It's a 30-mile drive in unseasonably wet weather.
I was getting a heat wave end of a month for a while.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, supposedly.
Paramedic Andy is following. Surface rainwater is making driving conditions treacherous.
So it's important we get there quickly, but it's also important that we do get there. So the conditions, as you can see, are not ideal. So we have to make due diligence to that the traction's not as good.
Paul gets more information.
Yeah, just an update from scene. This car's rolling down an embankment into water. He's trapped in the water. He's got multiple fractures, chest injuries and pelvic injuries that need extracting there.
Sounds like we've got it all in one, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we've got every job rolled into one.
An injured teenager is trapped in the car boot. The team are intrigued.
But now this person ended up in the boot, like. Never put a police chase, so it could be.
Hart to join in police and firefighters at the crash site. They've closed the road.
Extreme caution. Passenger door open.
You've got extended skills, I don't know.
Paramedic Andy is first on scene for Hart. Fire crews have already removed the hatchback's tailgate.
Hey guys.
We need to give you a flotation device just to go down there if that's okay.
Two joyriders, pursued by police, have plunged 12 feet into a drainage ditch. Their car is nose down in water. A teenage passenger is still inside, lodged behind the back seat.
14-year-old gentleman, 1'4".
Okay.
Who's been sat in the front passenger seat,
Right.
not wearing a seatbelt. Airbags have deployed.
Right.
As you can see, he's ended up down here.
Yeah.
Nose is into the water. He's complaining of C-spine tenderness, pain to his chest,
Okay.
general abdomen, and also his foot as well.
The steep sides of the ditch are dangerously slippery. It's not easy for Andy to get to their patient.
Yeah, that's what you told me not to put in there, didn't you? Good job, I've got a spare pair on station, innit?
I'll keep hold of this.
Andy, what do you need?
We're just going to get some IV access, mate, and then we just need to get him out. He's got a broken
How are you coming out?
Huh?
How are you coming out?
Side door there, mate. But there's loads of water here, kid. I've just been in it myself.
Andy, when he comes out, are you bindering or not?
So, I think that's what we need to do. He's been a front seat passenger and he's ended up here. No seatbelt worn. Some C-spine tenderness, so he's going to need TXA, he's going to need a binder on him.
So do you want a dump setting up here? Because there's no DCA at the moment, so you can't do it on board.
There's a danger the car could slip further down the embankment.
When he comes out, we're going to need a place to work on him because DCA is not here.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you've got a shelter or something you can put up now?
We could drape tarp over him.
In the precarious car, the paramedics are working fast to stabilise the boy. They urgently need to get him out, but he'll need pain relief first.
It's done, it's done.
He's done his needle, mate. Needle's done.
Might just give him a tickle of morphine if we've got some drawn up.
Where's his driver?
Police have taken him to hospital already, I believe.
Oh, okay.
We're going to look at just getting you a bit of pain relief, okay? And then we'll get you out of here.
But extracting the boy is going to be difficult. He has suspected broken bones, and the car has come to rest at a 45-degree angle.
When we get him out, mate, we'll straighten it all up out here, mate. It's gonna be hard work getting him out of here anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be really crap.
So once I don't even know if it'll be easy just to come out of the boat. That's
I was looking at that.
That's what I think, mate.
That's why I kept you guys running, because I thought, oh, if anyone's going to have some better ideas than me, it's going to be you guys.
I think what we'll do then, mate, is we'll come out of the boat. I think that'll be the easiest way. Yeah, that's what we'll do, mate. It'll be easier than going outside, door, mate. Come straight on.
Change plan, mate. We've had a quick pump lad. We're going to take him out of the boat where he is, mate, now. Right, okay. So, to relocate our board to the back. Yeah. Send Tom and Lucy down.
You know them covers you have for cutting posts?
Yeah.
Couldn't you stick one over there for us, could you?
Yeah. Can you get us a sharp cover for the boat as well, please, Dave?
Looking 20 minutes for a DCA.
The other emergency teams will help with the rescue. At this angle, it will need speed and muscle.
If we just put your board across like that, Leo will take his head, and then I'll just literally pull him onto the board, and then we'll just catapult him up. It's not ideal, but it's the best we can do in this environment, I suppose.
To avoid worsening his injuries, the team will attempt to slide the boy out through the open tailgate.
And when they start coming uphill, come out here, and we're going to be shielding this area. Yeah?
Yeah. We're going to put him on our scoop off your board.
Yeah.
And then we'll do an assessment from there, put pelvic binders on, do whatever we need to do.
I'm going to be coming behind your head, sweetheart. All right, I'm going to be supporting you as you come out this car, all right? It's going to hurt a little bit, but we have to get you out, don't we?
With the mechanics of the crash and how he's ended up, with no seatbelt on as well, there could be significant pelvic injuries, chest injuries. We won't know that until we get out and do a full primary survey.
The teams are ready. It's time to move the boy.
Good lad.
Looks like he's on his way out now, he's on board.
Brilliant.
At last, after over an hour lying injured in the cold, the boy is out.
We've got some blankets.
His injuries could be serious.
Have you ever listened to it, Jess?
Yeah, so initially had bilateral air entry to the chest,
Do a whole reset.
general abdominal
That seems
tenderness.
You see a bottom.
Yeah.
Do you want to get onto A and B?
That chest looks unequal on right side, mate, when he's breathing.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a look at him here.
The paramedics suspect he has a collapsed lung.
Got access on one side, he's had TXA, he's had morphine. How's your pain? It's getting better. If you had to score it out of 10, what would you score it as?
About 5.
About 5, good. Can you lift your feet like that for me?
Let's get him on scoop and get him packaged then.
He'll be wrapped up warmly while the crews wait for an ambulance to take him to hospital.
Right, are we ready? Shall we move him onto the sleeping bag so we can just keep him warm?
Yep.
Right, you ready, will you?
Yep.
And you?
Ready, steady, lift.
This illegal joyride has ended badly. The boy's injuries could be life-threatening.
Well, it could have been a fatality. That's what you were looking at, because it was an old car. The safety equipment in that is not as such as a new car. You don't know if they're wearing seatbelts, if they're willing to get in a car at that age and drive. Are they going to be wearing seatbelts? Probably not. Safety is not their concern.
We're happy that note's deteriorating on ABCs?
No, so everything's good, mate.
How's your pain?
The car was being driven erratically before hitting a hedge and spinning off the road at speed.
Reckon 40 to 50 mile an hour coming down here.
Yeah.
They've veered off right, hit that bush there,
Yeah.
done a flat spin all the way around, and went down and hit that. So you're looking 40, 50, but they would have slowed down, I would have thought, with spin. But that's a sudden stop in it, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hospital doctors will want to know the details of how the accident happened, the mechanism of injury. But it's not clear how the front seat passenger ended up in the boot, whether it was the impact or if he crawled there to escape the water. Paul is baffled.
Airbag's going off on it. If he's at force like that, well, how's he ended up in? He must have crawled in, but.
No, he said he got thrown in there. He had no seatbelt on, he said he got thrown in there.
Surely, wouldn't you? How did it? You wouldn't have, if you hit that, you wouldn't be thrown backwards, would you? Unless when you're going downhill, I
don't know. But he reckons he didn't crawl, he reckons he was put there. So he's obviously distressed. He's a young man. He's gone through a traumatic experience, both emotionally and physically. So he's quite distressed. And unfortunately, we have to do the procedures fairly quickly. So although we explain what we're going to do and try and reassure him, it is quite distressing for him as we cannulate the patient and give him drug therapy and that, so that we can extricate him in an efficient and as comfortable as possible manner.
Looks like we've got a crew mine.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, just come in now, back looking at it.
Just come in now.
When you're treating the patient, I don't really think about what they've done, if they've stolen the car, why they're in the car. It's just their injuries and you're treating the patient. But then afterwards, you just think, well, that's totally avoidable. There's no need for that accident to ever have happened. You shouldn't be driving. You're not qualified to drive, not mature enough to drive.
The teenager will soon be on his way to the nearest major trauma centre, where he'll get the treatment he urgently needs.
Obviously, your heart goes out to the family, don't you? And you wouldn't wish this on your children. You'd just be concerned. And hopefully he'll use this as an experience to learn from and moderate his behaviour in future.
On lift, ready, steady, lift.
Don't drop me.
We won't drop you, don't worry.
Thankfully, no other road users were injured today, but an afternoon of recklessness has put the boy's own life in danger.
He's got possible pneumothorax or punctured lung to his right side. There was some slight difference on it, so until he gets a scan, that won't be confirmed.
Sorry about this, dude. One more bump now. Last bump.
I don't understand why you have to take a car out, if I'm honest, at that age. You're going to be that unlucky that you are going to crash, or you're going to seriously hurt another person, and it's just not worth it. I see it all the time.
It could be months before the teenager recovers from his injuries. When he's well enough, police will be asking him a lot of questions.
Remember the safety brief? Okay, everybody okay with that?
Being a heart paramedic isn't for the claustrophobic or the sensitive.
The plan, what I've got at the minute, is he walks towards the hole, I'll wind it, and then we'll gently lean over, take the weight, and then we'll lower him down.
It's about 6 foot front bottom.
The team are trained to work in the very tightest spaces and the most filthy of environments.
We're looking at them analysing the situation and using the safe system of work to enter that building.
Yeah, winch off.
Yeah, winch is off. If they get it wrong, then several people could die.
And today the team will be putting their training into practice.
999 road activated.
Manny and the team are heading for a waste recycling plant in East Yorkshire.
There's a person trapped by some form of machinery, and until we get any more intel, we literally don't know. It could be anything.
They're joining ground units and firefighters at the plant, and it's not going to be a pleasant job.
Oh my God, it stinks.
Paramedic Sarah is already with the patient.
1021 total 1. Do you need anything bringing forward?
Yeah, Hotel 1. When someone comes past the stretcher, can you bring the scoop? It's on the stretcher down at ground level. Scoop and headlock tank.
Rotting rubbish litters the yard and the plant room.
I think I'm going to throw up. I can't.
The worker was carrying out maintenance when he became trapped in a conveyor belt system.
Where are they? Where are they?
Here they go.
It looks like he's been crushed, and he's still trapped behind safety guards.
This section of the floor will come out so we can slide the board underneath if necessary.
Workmates are trying to help the rescuers.
I'll floor in there while you're stood up, Sarah, if needs be. Yeah, if needs be, to get more straight under him.
Something on the machine jammed, and he went on to clear it, and the belt started moving.
You need those out? Yeah.
How long will that take to get that up?
I can pull them out now.
I think the belt had taken him up to the top, and I think he'd got crushed through some rollers and ended up sort of trapped at floor level where the machine emptied onto another belt.
Just be careful with everybody falling then. OK,
Sure.
let's do that.
The team are trying to work out how to free their patient without worsening his injuries. A senior ambulance manager called in Hart within seconds of her arrival.
I was shown by the site manager that he'd actually been stood on one side of the conveyor belt, which had accidentally started. He'd fallen over and then gone through some very narrow machinery, and he was laid out on the floor in extreme pain.
What pain relief has he had so far?
The man doesn't speak English, so communicating with him is difficult.
All right on it. You're all right. Right, we need to be in a position if we get things ready to go.
I think the easiest plan will be to get the scoop either side.
Have we got it?
Yeah, it's here.
His injuries were quite significant. This is a waste recycling plant, and it was a particularly horrible wet day, so everything that had been brought in and put on the conveyors was wet and dirty, so the risk of infection, if he's got any open wounds, would increase considerably. Any open fractures, any open wounds, every surface that was there was contaminated.
Firefighters are going to help ease him onto a scoop stretcher.
Is that going to be long enough?
Yeah, shorter the better really, because you haven't got much clearance. So I've got the right hand side here. Can I pass that? You think? It's going to have to go down underneath.
They're going to move him. Their patient requires very gentle handling.
Okay, we're going to put the cord underneath.
Right, we'll get this side under first, because we're nearly there with this side, aren't we? So you turn and roll onto your right side. Other way, other way. Move that arm for me. Move that arm, that's it. Put this way slightly.
If we need to get the translator in, because he doesn't speak English, he's only behind you.
All right.
But there's a problem.
The stretcher's come, but he hasn't. So I need to move. He needs to come up the scoop now.
Well, it's a bit of sockets, so get this panel off. It's only 4 notes.
Oh, okay. How far off are you?
About 3-4 inches.
Are you?
Really difficult extrication. The fire service had to dismantle quite a considerable amount of machinery and take a section of flooring up to enable people to get to him, to treat him.
They need to feed the man out through a narrow gap over the belt.
1, 2, 3. On it?
Okay.
And at last he's free.
Are we safe there?
Can we get him across onto here so that we've not got this gap? Right, just slide for the first bit. Everybody ready? Slide.
All right.
Right, and again.
Despite morphine, the man's still in great pain.
And a bit further, we're still around the edge.
But getting him down to ground level isn't going to be easy.
Have you had a scout round to see if there's any other stairs anywhere?
I've asked him, that's the quickest one.
That's the quickest one, is it? Yeah, we'll just have to turn a few corners, I think, won't we?
Yeah.
Shame, I'm saying shame you can't just slide him down one of these. But
yeah, down the conveyor belt.
They've all got ends on.
Mibs will be all right.
They're going to have to carry him down several flights of stairs.
So under arm.
Their patient will be fastened into the MIBS, a specialist stretcher that cocoons patients while they're lifted free of confined spaces.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
On lift, ready, steady, lift.
It's quite tight on his ribs here, so.
Yeah, and we need it to carry him downstairs, so.
That's it, Pop, that's it, buddy, you're all right.
Hospital doctors will want to know how the accident happened. the so-called mechanism of injury.
How's he ended up on that lower bit? Has he crawled in on purpose or?
No, so he was doing maintenance.
Right.
Doing maintenance, stood on the belt, the machine came on. So it threw him on his back.
Right.
And he went through.
And he went up and it dropped him off.
Through that machine, this one here.
Right.
Which is about that wide.
Are we lifting?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Right.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Ready, set, lift. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
So shoot that bend.
Yeah, on there. Yeah.
The elbows.
The man urgently needs hospital care.
Yeah. Okay, pop the end down and we'll slide it
Just
down.
pivot him down.
Put it down. Wait, just slide on the floor, that's it.
This isn't the first time medics have attended an accident here, but it's up to the authorities to investigate what went wrong.
Yeah, we're all right.
Your back, Barney.
Hang on, reset.
They've got to twist him in that way a bit now.
Right. Can we come up to here? No, we might fit round. Can you get your feet down from there?
Finally, the man is nearing ground level.
Yeah. Bring him out a little. Grand. Cheers, fellas, that'll do. Spot on.
Right, thank you.
It's 90 minutes since the team were called. It's been a complex, unpleasant operation.
So it was difficult extrication. We've got to try and remove sections of flooring, move safety guards from round the side and just try and get more access. And then obviously the stairway we've had to carry him down as well. It's extremely tight.
The man's going to be taken to the trauma centre at Hull Royal Infirmary for scans and x-rays.
Right, ready, set, lift.
He's lucky to be alive.
Good. Yep, ready to go.
God knows what. Thinking we're going to happen is we're going through the conveyor system. Hopefully we'll get an update later from hospital as to his condition.
The team can finally return to base for a shower and a change of clothes. Their patient may require surgery on his injuries, and there's a very high risk of infection. Britain is a nation of horse lovers. 2 million of us ride regularly. But however experienced a rider, horses can be unpredictable.
Right then, let's go.
999 mode activated.
Steve and Charlie team are racing to countryside near the West Yorkshire town of S5-E10. A woman has fallen off her horse.
Horse rider, and she's 57 years old, and it's in a field or wood somewhere, and that's really as much as we know. As always, information is fairly vague.
Hearts are regularly called to serious riding accidents. Their specialist kit helps with rescues in remote spots.
Yeah, especially during the summer when people start riding again with more frequency. So Moggy's on scene now, so...
We're showing 6 minutes away, we've got 4 hours with us.
It's a 20-minute drive to their location.
What if that's one of the culprits? Is it down there?
Yeah, about 50 metres down there.
Oh, right, okay, brilliant, cheers.
There's quite a few of them down there.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Steve's patient is at the end of a narrow and overgrown bridle path. Her son Oliver and his wife came to help.
She was riding a horse with her friend. Her friend was behind her, and she said that the horse sounded like it went into a canter, and then when she came around the corner, she was just on the floor. So we think that it's likely that the horse has cantered, she's hit the branch, fallen off, either hit her head or something.
I'm really sorry about this, I'm so
Don't apologise, at the end of the day things like this happen.
Business analyst Alison Briley is dazed and in pain. She's had a nasty fall and may have lost consciousness.
So what's your thoughts on the chest thing? You think she's got a chest injury? Are we all right?
I'm not too sure at the moment. That's a 5,
Yeah,
98%.
All right, yeah.
But we've got sharp pain on an inhalation.
Alison's symptoms are worrying the paramedics.
If there's too much pain, we can give you some more pain relief. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All we're going to do is put a board behind her and we're just going to gently lower you down, all right?
It's called the limbo tree, you know.
I can see why, yeah. I imagine that's quite difficult sat on a horse, though.
The team are joking, but they know Alison may have serious injuries. Her head has struck the low-slung tree at speed, and her body has taken the full impact of the fall.
Which shoulder is it that's hurting? This
As soon as you touch it, it goes very painful.
Can you lift it at all? Can you lift that shoulder up?
I think it's possibly just a case.
Looking at angle there, it looks a lot lower than this.
Yeah.
If you want to try to help me, of course, see if I can.
Yeah.
No, we don't want you to do that. We just need to get you on a board. I don't want to lift you under your arms if it's hurting. Do you want me to move to one? Mum, you're not allowed to move. Not yet. Just stay where you are for a minute.
Team leader Sarah wants to immobilise Alison on a rigid spinal stretcher.
Oh, it hurts me lower back.
It's okay. Nice, steady breaths.
Ouch. No, I can't.
Right, we can give you some more pain relief if needs be to try and assist.
They're giving her Entonox, gas and air.
Suck on it a bit harder. You need to just, that's it, big hissing sound is what you want. Big hissing sound, and then it's going to work. Keep using. Keep using.
Keep going.
Keep going, that's it. Use the gas and air.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Keep going in. Keep going.
Gosh, that really hurts. Okay.
Oh, we've got some more pain.
Yeah. Right, let me hold that a minute so we can straighten this arm out. That's it. We're just going to give you something else for the pain.
There's a danger Alison's broken ribs could puncture her lung.
Get enough of this for a minute. Shall I take it out?
We're giving you some morphine. We're going to give you 2.5 mils of morphine. Here we go, okay?
Because you've banged your head, we really need you to stay flat, just in case you've done anything to your neck as well. I know it's a bit more uncomfortable, but it's just a precaution because you've taken a bang to the head and you can't really remember what's happened. Yeah. We just want to make sure that you've not hurt your neck at all.
Okay, straighten your arm again. Alison, I'm just going to give you a little bit more of this medication, okay?
Alison is being immobilised in heart specialist MIB stretcher. It will ease her journey out of the woods.
Sorry about all these straps, it's just to get you out of the woods. Once we get you in the ambulance, we'll undo all these, okay? Oh, what's hurting?
Shoulder.
Okay. Is that okay now?
Yeah. Yep.
Steady, lift.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Oh, that's just stung through my trousers. We okay, or do we need to swap?
No,
all okay? Good.
Ow! Ow! Sorry.
You okay?
Is that your shoulder?
Yeah.
Alison, in future, can you go riding up road instead?
Yeah, no worries.
Or ride the path?
Yeah.
Alison regularly rides out on her horse, but today, a simple misjudgment has left her with serious injuries.
She likes to take all the hard roads with the horses. She's been riding for many years, and I think her horse can be a bit of a troublemaker sometimes, but that's why she loves him.
A couple of little bumps, Alison, sorry. Where we go, okay?
We don't know how fast the horse is going, so it's a fairly significant mechanism. I don't know, this is probably my third or fourth this summer. But you know, it's the price you pay for doing something you love, isn't it?
Alison will soon be at Bradford Royal Infirmary. She may need surgery. Riding will be out of the question for many months. Winter has the hills of Yorkshire in its grip.
I can see snow.
Charlie team are heading to Wharfdale.
999 road activated.
Lee's prepared for icy weather. All the Hart vans are equipped with four-wheel drive.
Ferrari. It's nice, that, eh? I might try for Euro Millions on Tuesday, see how that goes.
They're heading for the market town of Otley to help a local ambulance crew struggling with a disabled patient.
Nice little spot. Got that floods.
In her Victorian home near the town centre, 66-year-old Olive Robertson is having a stroke. She needs urgent hospital treatment, but it's impossible for local paramedics to get her out of the small flat without Hart's help.
So, just quickly, CVA patient, new onset of right-sided weakness, and since they've been here she's had 3 fits and she's had to have diazomos for that.
Right, okay.
The drugs have stopped the fitting temporarily and stabilised her breathing, but paramedic Kaz knows she could quickly deteriorate.
This is her chair.
Yeah.
Let's just check that it goes through that doorway.
Okay. Hart's help should make short work of this rescue.
Yeah, so that goes through okay.
Choosing the right equipment for the job is critical.
We have a mega mover, please.
Olive's sister Marjorie is her carer. She dialed 999. It's not the first time this has happened.
She had a very serious stroke about 12 years ago. She came up to visit me in Cumbria, and on her way back from Cumbria she felt ill on the M6 and drove herself into Preston General Hospital, and she had a dreadful stroke.
You going to move forward, I'll get the closet.
Yeah, I just want to watch her airways. So if we get the mega mover behind her...
The mega mover allows the team to lift a patient in the smallest spaces. But first the team needs to slide it underneath Olive.
Okay, try lifting. Ready, steady, lift. Pull, pull, pull. Pull. Do you want a hand down there, Flash? What's your airway? What's
We're going to have to go back up here to get her airway up. Can we get her sat back up?
Yeah, let's go back up if we can.
3.
For many years, Olive's been in a very fragile condition. She needs careful handling.
Right, try and roll her this way then. Okay, back again.
Okay, we're good this side.
See what we've got middle-wise.
For good your side, we can sit her back up again and then get reset.
Oh yeah, we're right there, we're laughing now.
Yeah.
Olive's weight is a major factor in her worsening health, and it's making her trip to hospital much more complex.
About 3 years ago she broke a bone in her lumbar spine, and after that she wasn't able to walk anymore, so it's got worse and worse really over the years.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. All right, buddy. Higher up. Let's take her up a bit. Ready, steady, lift. That's it, she's up.
Time is of the essence. The best stroke treatments must be given within 3 hours of an attack, and the clock is ticking.
Come on, watch that foot. Yeah, cool. You alright? Watch that elbow.
At last, Olive is on her way out of her home. She's been taken to specialists in Leeds.
Do you know what? I'd spin it round. She's going to come out feet first, isn't she? And then we can lift her and just take her that way. Just drop it flat.
Right, start turning.
The Mega Mover was developed to help deal with the growing number of overweight patients now needing help.
Yep, fine. Absolutely good down there. Stand a second.
It's a tricky manoeuvre to get Olive to the ambulance.
Mega Mover, it's a large sheet with reinforced webbing straps across it, and it's got a number of handles along the side of it. Sort of allows 6 to 8 people to lift together, just spreading out any sort of effort that we need, especially if they're unable to sort of assist us in any way, shape or form. It just helps, plenty of hands on, to make it as safe as possible for both ourselves and more so for the patient.
Ready, steady, lift. Hang on. Back up. There we are.
Medically, she needs transport into hospital, and obviously it was a bit of a difficult extrication due as much to the fact that she'd had some medication to stop a seizure which she was having. Obviously prevented her giving us any assistance in any way, shape or form to get her out of the house. So it took a few pairs of hands just to get her out and onto the vehicle.
The transfer to Leeds General Infirmary will only take 15 minutes. In A&E, doctors are preparing to treat her stroke. Investigations are underway into what caused a huge hole to open up in a betting shop floor, swallowing 84-year-old William Gwynn.
My wife had an injection to have, so I took her, thought I'd go put my bet on. I went into the bookies, opened the door, and the floor collapsed. I went down, I just laid there, and you know, when I went through the floor, to be quite honest with you, I was just laid there and I thought, what's happened? And I was really scared of the machines falling on me. They must weigh tons, them machines. When the ambulance came, I was really glad.
Remarkably, he escaped serious injury, but has suffered mobility problems since.
This accident has changed my life, without a doubt. To be quite honest with you, I just can't cope with the shoulder. I can't help the wife. Everything's just gone. I just can't do nothing with it. You know, all little things, things that you wouldn't imagine. You know, putting me shirt on and trying to get to my collar to put my collar down, putting my coat on. It's just aching and pain. You know, it's just awkward, everything's awkward.
It was quite an ordeal, but William is grateful to his rescuers.
Couldn't thank him enough, because it was really scary. you don't think of it. You don't think of anything like that. But when it happens to you, these people, they're brilliant. Very good.
Doctors found 2 teenage joyriders were uninjured after the car they were in skidded off the road at speed and ended up in a drainage ditch in South Yorkshire. It's still not clear quite how the young passenger ended up in the boot. Both boys were treated in hospital and released the same day. Police inquiries continue. The man trapped in machinery at a waste recycling centre in East Yorkshire suffered serious injuries and was treated at Hull Royal Infirmary. The Health and Safety Executive are investigating. Olive Robertson spent 6 weeks in hospital after suffering a stroke at home. Olive recovered, but her health has deteriorated. She's now back at home with her sister Marjorie. Alison Briley can clearly remember the day she fell from her horse Merlin on a wooded bridle path.
I pushed the horse into a very slow canter just to stretch his legs a little bit. I was approaching a bush, so I slowed him down. I leant over his neck to go underneath the tree. I didn't see the branch across the lane, and he must have gone underneath it, and I hit it.
Scans in hospital revealed Alison had broken 2 vertebrae in her back, several ribs and her shoulder. She also punctured her lung. 6 months later, she's still on the road to recovery.
Prior to the accident, I was quite an active person, but now I can't walk far enough to walk to a shop, and even if I could, I couldn't carry shopping back. I can't drive yet. It's had a huge impact, but I'm unbelievably lucky because I'm still here and I'm not in a wheelchair and I can walk. Do you know, to have a field so close to my house is my childhood dream. It's what I wanted all my life, and I just feel the luckiest person in the world. I feel so fortunate. This is Penny. This is the horse that my friend was riding on the day. She's nice and quiet. The horse that I was riding is Merlin, who has the rug on. You need a good brush. I've always found so much joy and pleasure in riding, and I think it would be a shame to not ride again.
Got off of work and I just haven't had time to go buy it, and so I got up to it and I came real close to buying that stupid plastic Omni tool thing. I'm like, but this is just garbage. I looked at it closely. I'm like, maybe for a Halloween costume, but I purchased it. I'm 4 hours in. Yes,
four hours in, and
4 hours in. I love it.
Okay,
it's exactly like listen, I won't say exact, but it's exactly like it was done before. I know we're in a different galaxy. You gotta come up with some other stuff, but I enjoy the whole sci-fi RPG type of stuff, so I'm all about it. So as far as the first 4 hours go, I'm loving it.
Okay. So are you experiencing any of the major problems, and I wouldn't really call them major, right? Because you've played all the other Mass Effects, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all the other Mass Effects that were out there, they all had problems with the animations. I mean, you can search it on Google right now, and